Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my October TBR. If you haven't already subscribed and this is not your first video from me, consider subscribing. Okay, now we'll talk about the TBR that I have for October. Lately I've been doing my TBRs in like sections, so I will have timestamps down below, and YouTube does that cool time bar thing now so you can see it when you scrub on the video. So the sections we have right now are readathons that I'm taking part in, the arcs that I want to share with you guys, and then I will tell you the TBR that I'm reading for those specific readathons. First, the readathons that I'm taking part in, the first one is one that I'm also hosting. If you missed my announcement video, I am hosting along with 4 other great people the BlackSFFathon, which is a readathon all about reading speculative fiction by Black authors. If you are interested, all the info will be down below, and I also want to make an annotation. I don't know. It was not mentioned in the announcement videos, but we will be having a live show on November 1st to discuss the group book, which you can find out about on the Twitter and any of our announcement videos, and all the info, like I said, will be linked down below. And also remember, since this is my TBR video, we are also hosting a giveaway for anyone who does a TBR for the BlackSFFathon. So it can be like this within your October TBR. Just let us know on Twitter or Instagram, and you'll be added into the pot. You will win a surprise pack of items from the Melanin Eclectic Shop. I'm also loosely participating in 2 other readathons because I thought it'd be fun, and I like to make life as hard as possible for me by taking part in as many readathons as possible, even though I haven't even been reading that much, but we won't discuss that. The other 2 readathons I'm taking part in are Black-Oween-Athon, which is hosted by the Locked Booktician. This is focused on spooky/Halloween-centric books by Black authors. It takes place the entire month, so if you wanted to join, it's a little late, but I also haven't started yet, so who cares? But I'll be telling you my TBR for this closer to the end of the video. Oh, also I want to mention that the BlackSFFathon takes place the last 2 weeks of October, so October 18th to the 31st. And another readathon that is also taking place during those dates is Fortnight Frights, which is being hosted by Seiji from The Artisan Geek. And its goal is to inclusively celebrate scary literature. Seiji made it a point in her announcement video to mention, even if you don't normally read horror, you can still take part. So that's me. And I'm reading so many creepy, scary books this month, which is honestly not me at all. I just don't really read horror. I'm not a huge fan of being scared. I do read more thrillers, but horror is not usually something that I read. So those are the readathons that I'm taking part in. There are definitely a bunch of other readathons going on this month, in the month of October. So if you're looking for one, you can probably definitely find one. This seems to be a very busy month for readathons for pretty obvious reasons, since it is Halloween and lots of people love to celebrate Halloween. I am actually not much of a seasonal reader. I don't really usually read a lot of spooky books or Halloween books or do anything Halloween related, except I used to go trick-or-treating when I was younger. Now I'm too old to go trick-or-treating, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not as much of a big deal for me, and I'm not really a seasonal person, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I'm still taking part in 2 Halloween readathons. But anyway, I now want to get into the arcs that I'm planning to read in October and the arcs that I've been given access to. I haven't been doing that great with arcs, but I do at least want to share them with you in these TBRs. First, we have We Were Restless Things by Cole Nagamatsu. This follows Noemi after her best friend Link dies after drowning. However, they were miles away from the nearest body of water when it happened. It was chalked up to a freak accident, but Noemi knows that he drowned in an impossible lake that only she can see, and now someone who's claiming to be Link is warning her against the woods that Link was found in. And Noemi shares this burden with her 2 friends, and it has multiple POVs as we follow those 3 trying to figure out what's going on. So it sounds interesting. I honestly didn't know too much about it. I received this art from the publisher, thank you to Sourcefix Fire, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And this comes out on October 6th. Something Happened to Allie Greenleaf by Haley Kisher. This is told in dual perspective and follows Blythe and Allie after Allie is raped by one of Blythe's best friends, Sean. And Sean begs Blythe to help him get him out of it, I guess. I don't know. So Blythe decides to befriend Allie to try and make amends for what Sean did, and she introduces Allie to her circle of ruthless popular girls and shares her own dark secrets with her. Despite the betrayal at the heart of their relationship, they see each other in a way that no one has ever seen them before. This obviously has a trigger warning for rape and sexual assault. I'm not sure where it's supposed to go with this. It sounds like it's supposed to be about female friendship. It just really, the idea of the story really intrigued me, and the title intrigued me, so I wanted to give it a shot. This also comes out on October 6th. Come On In, edited by Addie Alstead. This is a YA anthology where the theme is stories from either children of immigrants or children who are immigrants to the US specifically. And it sounds interesting to me. I'm a child of immigrants, so wanted to give it a shot. This comes out on October 13th. Now we're on to the books that I'm probably, maybe, definitely going to read. First, we have the books that I'm going to be reading for my BlackSFFathon TBR. This is the bingo board. This is the row that I'm trying to make bingo with. First, we have When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. Alyssa Cole is a popular adult romance author. I read one of her books earlier this year for the Accidentally in Love book club. The live show for that is still up if you want to check it out. But yeah, I enjoyed that romance novella, so I'm interested to see what she does with this horror thriller. This follows a woman who, after being frustrated by her Brooklyn neighborhood being gentrified, decides to start a walking tour so that she can hold on to the history of her neighborhood. She unwantingly receives assistance from her neighbor, and because he decides he wants to help her, and I guess he has free time or something, and as they deep dive into the neighborhood's history, they start to realize that something else might be going on. I'm reading this for the horror prompt on the bingo board. Next, we have The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste. This is the group book for the Readathon. This is a middle grade book where we follow a girl who must save her island home from the Jumbies, a mythical demon from Caribbean folklore. And this is also a retelling of the Haitian folktale, The Magic Orange Tree. And lastly, for the BlackSFFathon, I will be reading The Evaluators by N.K. Jemisin. This is a short story that is in Chloe's short story list that she put together. Definitely check it out. There are a lot of good short stories in there, and she also did a video where she recommended short stories from the list for each prompt. So if you're struggling or anything, check that video out, because these are short stories, so they'll be much shorter to read just by nature of them, and they're all free, available online. So this one, like I said, is by N.K. Jemisin. I've only read one of her books. It was really good. It was the 5th season. I wanted to try and read The Obelisk Gate for this readathon as well, but I couldn't make it fit. I might still try and read it, but I'm also trying to take it a little bit easy despite all the books that I'm listing, because I just haven't been reading that much, so we'll see what happens with that. But this story follows a human encounter with a sinister shape-shifting alien species. This falls under the challenge of reading something that's not set on Earth. This is set in space. It has to do with aliens. Hello, so my camera died in the middle of me recording this. I do know where I left off because while I was waiting for it to charge, I edited the first half of this video because I'm being good at time management. So I just wanted to say that in case anything looks a little different. It really shouldn't, because it's the same day. It's only been like 2 hours or something, and I'm using the same setup, so I just wanted to acknowledge it. Now I've acknowledged it for probably far too long. Let's move on. Next, I want to give you the books, or the one book that I'm reading for Fortnight Frights. I'm combining challenges for this one. I'm kind of also combining challenges for the BlackSFFathon. Like, the next few books that I mentioned might also fit challenges for the BlackSFFathon, so they might help me make another bingo, but I'm not sure because I didn't actually check, but I digress. So the first book that I'm going to be reading for Fortnight Frights is Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse. Honestly, this book might be a little bit out of my wheelhouse. This is kind of an epic fantasy inspired by pre-Columbian American civilizations, and interwoven into the story is a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. Yeah, I've heard good things about Rebecca Rowanhorse, so I wanted to give her newest book a shot. I'm pretty sure it comes out in the middle of the month, but I have an early copy, which honestly doesn't matter because I think it comes out before the readathon anyway. But anyway, I was able to get the audiobook early through Libra FM's influencer program. So in that program, they offer up a selection of audiobooks through their platform to influencers. I don't get anything from it other than those books, but I just wanted to shout that out in case you are looking for basically an Audible alternative. Libro.fm is there. I have the link in my description. If you use my link below, you get a free credit as well, and I also get a free credit. For Fortnight Frights, this counts for 3 of the prompts. Rebecca Roanhorse is a Black and Indigenous person, so there is a prompt for read a book by an Indigenous author and read a book by a Black author, so those are checked off. There is a prompt for read a dark fantasy. I've heard this described as dark, or I'm not sure if I'm confusing this with another Rebecca Roanhorse's books, but I'm counting this for the dark fantasy prompt. And for the last prompt, so I can make a bingo, I'm going to be using the Jumbies that I mentioned earlier as a book with a green cover. I know the cover is kind of blue-green, but I'm just counting it because I need it. And lastly, we have my Black-Oween-Athon TBR. This is the bingo board and the prompts that I'm going to be attempting. The book that I will be reading is A Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patrice Caldwell. Honestly, I've had this since it came out. I actually do own a copy. I still have yet to unpack my books. I know it has been 2 months since I moved. It's fine. I'm fine. We're doing fine. So yes, it's still in a box. I'm going to fish it out. I'm going to unpack my books, and then I'll have it to hold and read. But yes, I'm planning to read this month. This is an anthology of fantasy and sci-fi stories following Black heroines, all written by Black authors. For Black-Oween-Athon, this fits the prompts for a book that includes a Black witch and fantasy book by a Black author. And the other prompt is to read a thriller by a Black author. And so I'm counting When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, because that is marketed as a horror/thriller. And the last prompt is to participate in one of the live check-ins that the Lockbooktician is doing. I will attempt to do that. I'm really bad at going to other people's live shows. Honestly, I'm bad at going to my own live shows half the time. I mean, not that I schedule them and don't show up. That would be really bad. But I do kind of want to do more live shows than I do, and I don't. So yeah, all that to say, I'm going to attempt to show up in one of her live shows. Yes. So those are all the books that I'm planning to read this month, and those are all the readathons that I'm going to be participating in. Let me know in the comments down below if you're participating in any of these readathons, specifically the BlackSFFathon, because I'm a host. And I also did this to show, first of all, how you can combine readathons. I did use 2 of the books that I'm reading for the BlackSFFathon for these 2 other readathons, and it's possible. It was not as easy as I want to say it was, but it wasn't that hard. So you can do it if you want to. Also remember, for BlackSFFathon, you can definitely combine prompts. Yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, give me a pumpkin emoji. Like Halloween pumpkin emojis? I don't know. Give me one of those, any pumpkin emoji. Or if you're not on your phone and can't use emojis, just write the word pumpkin. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow me on my social media. I have Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads. All of those will be linked down below, along with all the other info that I over mentioned in this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!